What's it worth being a commercial fisherman in this state? A lot of us would think that the most financially lucrative would be the abalone and rock lobster fisheries, or even the prawners. But no, the top two spots for average income per boat and licence are the sardine and blue swimmer crab fisheries. The latest economic indicators for the entire South Australian fisheries, published by a Consearch in December last year, shows a rare glimpse into the gross value of licence holders for the 2014-15 year. Way ahead on their own in top spot are the 14 licence holders for the state's sardine fishery, which had an average gross income per licence holder of $1.5 million. Not forgetting, they took a total of 39,000 tonnes of fish from the Gulf waters to basically feed the tuna pens off Port Lincoln. In second spot, the 7 licence holders in the blue crab fishery had an average gross income of $1.1 million. The 39 licence holders in the Spencer Gulf prawn fishery had an average gross income per licence holder of $743,000 for the year. Now we start to get into the premium species, with the 180 licence holders in the Southern Zone rock lobster fishery taking an average gross boat income of $700,000. This group of fishers were tied in fourth spot by the 34 licence holders in the Abalone fishery. The 63 licence holders in the Northern Zone rock lobster fishery had an average gross income per licence of $630,000 for the year. We still haven't seen any marine scale fishery species appear on the list yet, but believe me, they're on it. So next in line we have the 10 licence holders in the Gulf St Vincent prawn fishery, who had an average gross boat income of $586,000 per licence. These guys were followed far, far behind by the next on the list, the 37 licence holders in the Lakes and Coorong fishery, who had an average income per licence of $285,000. The 61 licence holders in the charter boat industry came in with $96,000 as an average gross boat income. Finally, coming up the rear are the 307 licence holders in the marine scale fishery, who each had an average gross income of $89,000 for the 2014-15 year. Yes, I know, these are the gross incomes per boat and licence, but they nonetheless are impressive. Those fisheries, which are basically closed to recreational anglers such as the sardine and prawn fisheries, are out there on their own. The blue crab fishery is a different kettle of fish, pardon the pun. With the severe restrictions being placed on us recreationals with reduced bag limits and more of the crabs being allocated to the commercial potters, it's like robbing the poor to give to the rich. But then again, silly me, isn't that what politics is all about? Let's have a look at the marine scale fishery and the trends there. Maybe they've learnt some tricks from their more lucrative colleagues. The total catch in the fishery fell a massive 53% between 2001 and 2015 to 2,496 tonnes. But the value of the catch fell just 18% over that same period, buoyed up by the 74% rise in price during this time to $25.2 million. But don't forget that there was a 28% reduction in the number of licence holders for the same period, down to 307 today. With all of this doom and gloom that the marine scale fishery puts out about the impact of recreational fishers on their industry, they need to have a look at their own figures. Even though there's been a decrease in the number of licence holders, and despite the decrease in catch, the average income per boat in the fishery increased from about $71,000 in 2001 to $89,000 in 2015. That's a 25% increase in income. Just to show you how interested they are in their own industry, a Consearch did a survey of the marine scale fishery licence holders for their economic indicators. Of the 309 active licence holders, 61%, or 189 licence holders, were not included because they either couldn't be contacted, were not interested in participating, and others were unwilling to provide sufficient detail about their fishing operations to make the survey data usable. What we do know is that the reported average licence value of just over $150,000 for 2015 was based on the fishers' own estimates of the value of their licence. But those that did respond still had a big smack at the recreational sector, claiming the rights of recreational fishers were of concern to some fishers in almost all of the categories, and felt that serious recreational fishers are inadequately policed and are allowed to take too many fish. They'd be better off taking an interest in their own fishery rather than continually taking pot shots at the mums and dads fishers who don't like eating imported fish.